Who's going to introduce us?
You do.
Welcome, Periscope. Oh.
Somebody's new.
Well, I like because you're right there, so unless you want me to.
No,
Yeah. Okay. You're the princess, so
you're right.
you should start.
Welcome to our central Periscope.
Hang on.
Yes. Periscoping. Hello. I'm in a
Hi,
singing
Periscope.
mode today. I don't know what it is.
Well, don't say you're in the podcast.
I know I won't. I can't sing at all. I apologize already for what you guys have heard.
All right. We ready, kids?
Aye, Captain.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Horror Central. I'm one of your hosts, Kelsey Cavazos.
And I am Rudy Paca.
Ryan McCary.
And this week's episode is about foreign films.
Just international foreign films, obviously, but we covered, I think we each did a different one from a different country. Like mine was from France.
Mine is a Korean film.
And mine is from Sweden. I also covered another one from Spain.
Oh.
So we have 4 films for you.
Yeah.
Overachievers over here.
I'm going to mash mine together real fast.
So, I guess I can get started with mine. I watched High Tension, which is, like I said, a French film.
Attention.
Or yeah, High Tension.
Yeah, etc.
However you want to say it. But it was released in 2003. It was actually an independent film, and Lionsgate took it and from the Toronto International Film Festival in 2003, and then it was released here in the United States in I want to say either 2005 or 2006. I can't remember on top of my head, but basically it's about 2 college students, friends, Marie and Alex, and they are on this trip to the country where Alex it's actually her house in the country of France, and to do some studying. But loads of trouble and blood.
Things happen.
Yeah, crazy stuff happens, basically.
Stuff gets real.
Yeah, real quick. There's a mysterious killer that comes in and invades the house and just pretty much
I just
kills
like how
his entire family.
fast and brutal he was.
Yeah.
That's what got me liking him.
Yeah.
There's like never explained a motive on him.
Nope. You first see the killer. I guess I should just say also this is not safe for work. If you're playing this out loud, but it starts off actually the killer is pleasing himself or in the truck with a head, just a dead head.
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, giving him head, and then just
Getting
chucks it out the window. Yeah, it's just
getting meta there.
yeah.
That's
Yep. So you're like, whoa, dude, and yeah, and then he just goes and appears at this house, and
that's quite the beginning to a film.
yeah. He kills the dad. I mean, that was actually it was pretty brutal. He comes in and just cuts his face, and then he tries to get up the stairs, and the dad's head somehow gets his head stuck in the rail, and then he gets a dresser and just totally pushes the guy's like head off, decapitates it with a bookcase. The film was actually originally rated NC-17, but they actually had to cut a lot of stuff out to make it rated R, and that was actually one of the when he gets cut, the head, and then there's blood spraying everywhere. I guess in in the rated R version, it's cutly quit. It's edited quickly, cut away to the bookcase, so you don't see his head. Of course, I watched the uncutted version because I mean, if there's an uncutted version, I'm gonna watch that one. Sorry.
Well, naturally.
So yeah, So I watched that one. So of course I saw all this, and then like when the mom gets killed, apparently, she gets her throat slashed open, and that was apparently cut out too. Most of the arteries, I guess, start coming out, and then the blood starts going up on the closet. To me, that was like one of my favorite killing scenes. I don't know, it sounds horrible to say, but like the way when it cuts through and then it's just like the air opens it and it like breathes for a second, and then the blood finally comes out. It's just like, whoa, like it just like instead of just like blood spurting everywhere, it's like her last gasp of breath comes out of her neck.
I wouldn't say that's a bad thing to have
No.
a favorite kill.
Yeah.
I can make a top 20 of my
Okay,
favorite kills.
alright, that's good.
Fair
But,
enough.
yeah, I was just like, wow, that's great.
Intense. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then, I mean, there's a lot of other things. Like, there was a close-up of when, another thing that was cut out was there was a close-up of when this gas station guy gets killed, of the axe that was really stuck in his chest, that was cut shorter. And then also when Marie strikes the killer near the end with the barbed wire, she has like this pole thing, she's trying to get away. And basically everything that's like brutal is cut shorter for the rated R. That's like, pretty much the gist of it. But it's really good, and it's actually considered, it was directed by Alexander Aja.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, and he also did Hills Have Eyes, Mirrors, and most recently Horns, which I did not know that he did that.
Yep. That's
So,
what I really liked it.
yeah, now I really want to watch the movie, because, I mean, I was kind of like hesitant about that one, but,
Didn't he do one, I think, there was a parking garage one, I think he did. I could be wrong.
yeah, there was. Yeah.
P2, I think it was
Yes,
called.
it was P2, yeah. I didn't really include that
No,
one, but-
like, the trailers look pretty bad, and I'm like,
yeah.
this is from the same guy that did High Tension? I was
Yeah.
pretty disappointed.
Yeah, I just did the ones that, I usually just
That's
name
all
the
good.
ones that everyone I would hopefully would know.
Yeah,
Right.
Nobody's probably seen P2
Yeah.
but
I know, I'm surprised you even. Well.
I was a fan of him.
Yeah, and the film's actually considered to be one of, like, you know how there's like the new French wave that's in the 1950s, right? 60s?
Sure.
I want to say.
I know of it, I just
Yeah,
It's been a
so
while
it's
since
I wanna
we
say the
see it
60s.
101.
Yeah, so like there's that whole genre. Well, this is actually considered part of the new French extremity, which is considered to be outrage, violent, shocking, and basically it's just exhibits traits that are responsible of wide range of horror subgenres. So like slasher films and horror films. So it's like it's part of a new subgenre in France. This is like it started becoming a big thing, and films started becoming really popular over there in France. So and then cinematography, I think in that film too, is amazing. Is by Maxime. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna say Max Alexander. I don't know how to.
That's all good. A lot of good
and,
angles.
yeah, and he did a really good job setting up every shot where it just makes you feel really kind of creeped out. I thought the coloring in the movie too was just really done well. There's a lot of good shots in there. I just love this movie. I honestly, after rewatching it, I think this is probably like my 6th or 7th time seeing it, and this is my favorite film ever done. Period. I'm
Wow.
convinced myself. I mean, so obviously you guys know I'm going to rate it, but still, like
Very
I just
bold.
Let's hear it anyways.
I'm going to say 5 out of 5. Barbed wire. Well, I don't know what she calls it. The pit thing that she makes. Barbed wire pole.
Barbed
That's,
Yeah.
that's what she does when she's beating
Was
the
that from
guy.
a fence or something?
Yeah, she's
Oh,
there. Like,
that's so
yeah.
cool.
yeah, she's just
That's brutal.
beating the guy.
Yeah.
Just
And that's right on the poster, her like holding it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Blade.
That's metal.
Yeah.
Or,
So,
no, she has that handsaw.
yeah. Oh yeah, and then she has that handsaw.
Yeah.
But, anyways, and then Celine de France, or de France, Celine de France. She's Marie. She's also in Hereafter with Matt Damon and 80 Days Around the World. She was good. So basically, like it's kind of like a love story too,
Yeah.
because she's
That's weird,
in love with Alex, and when she finds out that Alex left her to go sleep with this guy, she got jealous, and so there's that struggle. But then the killer comes in, and then she doesn't really like worry about it, and.
It was a very strange ending from what I remember.
I don't really want to. I don't want to spoil it.
Don't
because
spoil it.
It's a good twist at the
Watch
end.
it, guys.
Yeah, just watch it.
Yeah.
And then the girl who actually plays Alex, I can't pronounce her name. Mullen. But she's actually the diva in The Fifth Element, which I thought that was interesting because I just covered Resident Evil last week.
Huh.
So I don't know. Maybe I should watch the Fifth Element movie this weekend or something.
It's a good one.
Yeah. And she was also in Leon the Professional.
Huh.
I haven't seen that. I really
I haven't
wanted
seen
to.
that one either.
What? Really? You guys?
I hear
That's
it's
like-
good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wow, that's good. It's good.
Just haven't.
All right,
Jeez.
fair enough.
So overall, I mean, it was great. I love the cinematography, the music too. It actually, I forgot that Muse is in it. They play Newborn, and that's like one of my favorite songs. I love Muse. So
Good choice.
Yeah, and when I was watching it, they had only like one French song, but a lot of them were American songs. So I was like, maybe this is Canada or a Canadian film. I don't know. But then I had to look it up. I was like, no, okay, I was right. It was French. It's a French film. But Muse and Newborn, and then I totally like jammed out. I actually have a link here. Maybe we can play it later or something. I don't know. We can jam out. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, definitely 5 out of 5. Man, I would even do 10 out of 5. Like,
10 out of 5.
200%.
Yeah.
200.
Like serious. Like this film. I think this was the first film I ever showed Andrew, and I'm surprised he didn't leave me after I showed it to him. But no, it's like definitely my favorite film ever. So go watch it. You guys should watch it again. Yeah.
Rewatch it. I might have to rewatch it after hearing all that.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, I'll jump into mine then. I covered 2. I was an overachiever this week. I wanted a gold star. I did Let the Right One In, which, if you've seen Let Me In, might be kind of familiar. It's the Swedish version of the film. It came out in 2008 in Sweden, and the director was Thomas Alfredson, and its budget was about $5 million, and it made about 11, so it doubled its money, so it was pretty good. It was critically responded by a lot of people in Sweden. Like, they averaged it at 4 out of 5 stars, so they gave it pretty good there. Here in the U.S., they gave it about 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty high.
Wow.
And it also won a lot of awards in Sweden, so...
It's so good.
Yeah.
Really? Wow, High Tension only got 40% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, there's certain films, I mean, it's hard to gauge what critics will like and not.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like an international film.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how it's going to translate to like
It's
the American public.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's plot. I would say Oscar is a overlooked and bullied boy. This is straight from the plot from IMDb. So finds love and revenge through Ellie, a beautiful but peculiar girl, and she's also a vampire. So it kind of throws that like on the back burner because it's not really the plot of the whole movie. If anything, it's a love story between Oscar and Ellie, I think it's pronounced. And I mean, they're both 12. I mean, technically she's 12, but she's like 200 years old. She just was 12 when she got bit.
So she's 12. That's kind of weird. How old is he?
He's 12 too.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it is kind of weird
Yeah.
because in the film, you first see Ellie with like an older gentleman who you suspect is the dad, but it's not. And he goes around and kills people for her so she can drink blood. And so there's been many attempts where throughout the film he tries to kill people, and I think he's actually successful in the American one, but in this one he just fails every time. He's not a great murderer at all.
Nope. Pretty terrible.
He needs to lie high tension. Get some pointers.
Yeah, seriously.
But I thought it was a great film. There is a lot of aspects that Let Me In took. I mean, if you look at them side by side, it's almost like one of those shot-by-shot remakes. There's a few differences, like the American film was a non-linear plotline where it starts like in the middle of the film, where it shows like the older gentleman in the hospital, and then it like kind of shifts to the beginning, so it's non-linear. When the Swedish version, this one, was linear, it follows along Oscar pretty much. He's the main character, follows along his life, his understanding of Ellie, and how he is getting picked on by all these kids, and then Ellie kind of helps him a few times. A few random information tidbits about it. The title itself, the Let Me In, is kind of homage to older aspects of vampires where they need to be invited into a room or a household, and that's pretty much how the novel went as well.
I feel like that should just be a common thing for vampires, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge vampire.
I'm pretty sure every other vampire movie ignores this.
They do. Yeah.
So I thought it was really cool that they did that, and then like, I mean, they still are afraid of the sunlight because people get burst into flames in the movie and stuff. But it also uses some really interesting like sound effects for like when she bites to drink somebody's blood, I guess they use sausages, and they just had whoever the prop master was would just bite into sausages, and then somebody was slurping yogurt to make like this like slurping of the blood. So I mean, I guess it's thick like bull, but like I don't know, probably depends on the yogurt if it was Chobani or not. Choke on a blueberry, I guess.
Maybe it's vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla, just no fruit. I thought the really weird thing was the Swedish version, like, Ellie's actually not a girl, even though you suspect that through the whole thing. She's actually, like, she even tells him, like, I'm not a girl, will you still like me, to Oscar? They end up dating. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. Like, and you find out later that she was actually, like, castrated as a boy when, like, he was 12, so, but, like, acts like a female through, like, the whole film, so it's not really even addressed much in the film. Like, it's just like, hey, this happened, no backstory. So I'm assuming in the novel they explain it a little bit more. But yeah, like, this movie I highly recommend watching. It's one of the best Swedish films they've said on many lists for foreign films. Yeah, like I said, let me in. Chloe Moretz, who's been in a lot of horror films, she portrays it in the American One. Richard Jenkins, another, and Matt Reeves, who did Cloverfield's the director of the American One. But no, that's pretty much that for Let Me In. I'm gonna cover The Orphanage really fast. Which
what would you rate?
Yeah. Let me go back to that. Let Me In, or Let the Right One In. I would give it probably a 4.5 out of 5, just because it's one of those unique horror films that has a really strong narrative that's unique, a different take on something, just like the newer Maggie zombie film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a zombie film, but it's different. This one's a vampire film, but it's not the classic, like, Dracula, where you go to the castle and then somebody stays there the night and then dies, or Twilight, for God's sakes. I mean,
Twilight shouldn't even be on.
We shouldn't even be saying its name.
I'll just say that name and say it's awful. We'll just leave it there.
But yeah, I would have to give it the same rating. I really liked it. I saw it in high school, actually, and I saw Let the Right One In before I saw Let Me In. And it was really good.
I wish I seen it the other way around too. I seen the American one before that. And
so good.
I started watching it Halloween weekend because I know that you guys were talking about it, and I was like, oh, I should watch it. And then I didn't. I watched Doctor Who instead.
Shame on you.
I'm sorry.
Shun her.
Alright, I also covered The Orphanage. Came out in 2007 in Spain, also critically acclaimed. Director is J.A. Baroyona. He is his debut directing, and it was also produced by Guillermo del Toro, which was one of the writer's friends. So if you don't know who that is, he's done many of films like Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy. He's well known. He did Pacific Rim, which is awesome. There's a lot of little homages for him in the film too. Like, there's one of the orphans that's named Guillermo. I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly.
Guillermo.
And I guess he's also a cameo as a doctor. Yeah.
Yeah, you're the
right.
Spanish one here.
I'm
Mexican. I mean, well,
It's
Spanish
Guillermo.
speak. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I don't speak Spanish, but it is Guillermo.
Okay. I'll try to stop saying his name. But this one actually did a lot better than the Let the Right One In. Budget of $4 million, made $78 million. So it was quite a big profit for a directorial debut for that guy. The writer wanted to direct it, but they're like, no, you can't. It was just, I guess, 87% on Rotten Tomatoes, won some Goya Awards in Spain. Pretty much the plot is a woman is an orphan at this orphanarium, and she gets sent to a family. She comes back when she's later in life. Her son ends up becoming missing. I think his name was Sergio. No, that's not right. His name's Simone. And I just remember yelling Simone a lot. Simon. And basically she's trying to find him throughout the whole film, and there's like these ghosts of these 6-7 children throughout the film, and they're kind of like torturing her a little bit, and it pretty much follows the line of where she's trying to figure out like the backstory of the orphanage, because she knew all her friends when she was growing up, and she was trying to figure out like why they'd be like haunting, like what happened to them.
Yeah.
And she slowly figures that out throughout the film. Yeah. Yes, it is a great film. Another one that would be soon maybe to adapted to American film came out in 2000, the rights bought in 2007, actually the year it came out, by New Line Cinema. They plan to make a remake, American remake, but they have not got off the ground. Amy Adams was supposed to be Rachel in it, but that was like the last information of like 2011. It's probably just a rumor, but
Yeah.
I think that's all I have. Oh, one more tidbit about the film before I move on to Kelsey's film. The quote from the director of this film about making an American remake was, "The Americans have all the money in the world, but they can't do anything. Well, we can do whatever we want, we don't have the money. The American industry doesn't take chances. That's why they make remakes and movies that already were big hits." And that's very resonant of what happens usually.
It's true. That is, I could not agree to that more.
Like The Babadook's the only horror
Yeah.
movie as of recent, or The Conjuring.
The Ring,
that I
The
thought-
Grudge, The Eye. I mean, like all those Japanese, like Korean films.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
I mean, even right now, like at this day and age, all the franchise with the Star Wars, Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
exactly.
I mean, it's
They're
just
just bringing back those big blockbusters.
Star
Yeah.
Trek. Yeah, it's like, come on, think of something. You can't even think. Oh, I have the money. Let's just do this. We got green screen. Oh, we got green screen. We can
Yeah.
do something.
So just like the audience gave it at Cannes Film Festival, I could give it a 10-minute standing ovation. I would give it a 4 out of 5. I think
Yeah.
Let the Right One In was a little bit better, but I love the film, and I think it deserves really a very good recommendation to watch. It's not on Netflix or anything, so you can't catch it there, but if you ever get a chance, definitely watch it.
It was on Netflix.
I don't think it is
Wow.
anymore.
Yeah, because that's when I saw it. I watched it.
Let the Right One In is, though, so
Yeah.
catch that on Netflix. Alright.
What would you rate it since you've seen it?
Yes.
I would say probably 4 out of 5.
Stop copying me, guys.
I'm not,
Listen, we just happen to agree with you.
but
Fair enough.
with the barbed wire pole, I'm going with that still.
It's all good. I didn't
Yeah.
even say it. I don't really care.
So, but I just thought it was a good movie. It was something different, and well, children scare me, so.
Yeah, the little Tomas
Children
kid
are
that was
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really terrifying looking. Yeah, he even looks terrifying outside of that, but he
Yeah.
wears that mask and
Yeah.
it's super cool looking.
Nope. No thanks.
Alright, so my film was a Korean revenge film called I Saw the Devil. It was released in 2010 in Korea and was released in America in 2011. They had to cut a lot out so that it could get a good rating, because if it doesn't get a certain rating, then they can't even release it on DVD or in the theaters in South Korea. So yeah, so they had, I think they made 7 cuts, but I think the full version is available in America, and it's really good. Basic story. It's about a serial killer, and he keeps killing different people. And he ended up killing the police chief's daughter, and it's about her fiance getting revenge. He figures out who he is because he's a secret agent, and he just toys with this serial killer. He will capture him and torture him, and then let him go. It's this big cat and mouse story, and the ending is amazing. It is so good. I would never reveal it because it's something you definitely have to see on your own.
Darth Vader is the father.
Well, yeah. There is a father involved, I'll say that. But it's way good. It's gory and messy, but it's shot so beautifully, and it's just a good story, and it's interesting too because even the good guy is a bad guy, which I kind of like. I always have trouble with horror films that there's always a good and a bad, because that's not realistic.
Yeah.
Not at
So
all.
it's interesting to see these movies where even the good guy is he's torturing this guy, and it's way cool though. He has a tracking device on him, and it's awesome.
Is
You
this
definitely do see it. It is on Netflix.
Okay. Just gonna
It is, yeah. I see it on there. I was really close to watching
Yeah,
it.
definitely. I definitely recommend it. It is okay. I can't pronounce any of these actors' names. I'm not even going to try because I will butcher them horribly. But the main actor, it is his first film after he went on like a hiatus, and it was about a protest. He might have been blacklisted or something. So I thought that was really interesting. And he's actually done another film with the serial killer, the guy who plays the serial killer, and this is the second time that the serial killer has played a serial killer in a film.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I believe it got a 98% according to IMDb. And it's
Pretty high.
yeah, it's pretty high.
No, that's good.
Or no, not a 98%. It had a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh.
That's what it was. I don't know why I thought 98%. But yeah, it's super good.
We're not math people.
Yeah, we don't do math. We're broadcasting kids, so
Yeah.
sorry. I don't know how to math.
Either do I.
But yeah, I definitely recommend anyone go watch it. Don't eat while you're watching it. There's a lot of blood.
But if those people who can handle blood, it's cool.
Oh yeah. If you're, don't watch it if you're squeamish.
Oh, okay. Because I was totally eating during high tension. I was like,
Oh, then you'll be fine.
Is that any similarity to, I don't know if you ever seen Ichi the Killer?
I haven't seen
I
that.
almost did that one. That's so funny. I almost got. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was just curious. I seen it once and it was really messed up.
But yeah, no, I like Korean revenge films. This one's a good one.
Have you seen Audition?
No, but I've seen Old Boy.
Okay, this is Audition's another revenge Korean film.
Awesome.
And it's good too, like how you said there's the good and like it's a good and bad person. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's just this like horrible cat and mouse game,
Yeah.
but it's
I'm gonna want to watch it.
Don't watch the American remake of Old Boy. It's so bad.
that's what I heard. I heard
My parents wanted to watch it when I was over there. I'm like, we could watch the original one. And they're like, no, I don't do subtitles. And I'm like, okay, let's watch the American one. Josh Brolin. Oh, he was a decent actor, but it was an awful film.
not even worth it.
No. Cool.
But
So
yeah,
what would you rate it?
I would rate it a 5.5 or 4.5 out of 5. See, there we go again. I still can't do math. So I think that's about it for us. Next week's episode will be about horror comedies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shaun of the Dead,
Yeah.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil, maybe. I don't know. We haven't figured out the films yet, but
Yeah.
stick around.
Yeah, and tune into our Periscope.
Mm-hmm.
Like
do
we are
that
now.
Yeah.
And
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook and all that jazz. You know, and if you have any ideas or want us to cover any videos or movies, whatever, let us know.
get at us, tweet at us,
Yeah.
Facebook us,
Hashtag Glenn's still alive.
Whoa.
DM us. Whoa.
I don't
Whoa.
have anything to say.
Peace.
Should we do a sign off where those, like, again, this is Kelsey, this is Rudy and Ryan. Thanks for listening to Horror Central.
We could.
Let's do it real quick.
Oh,
You can come.
Because then that way it's not like,
Or-
oh, yeah.
Unless somebody's watching the Periscope. Oh.
yeah, well.
Rudy, you.
What
Sorry.
do you mean, Grant?
I'm
Who
really
is
hyped
Grant?
today.
Is he on one of those films you guys covered? No.
You ready?
Sorry,
Yes.
yeah.
There, you're good. I feel like a mom.
Settle down,
Settle
kids.
down. And this is Kelsey,
This is Rudy.
This is Ryan.
and thanks for listening.
Spay and neuter your
It's
pets.
Horror Central.
Sorry.
All
Can
right.
read it up.
Yes.
Come on,
Okay.
Ryan.
All right. This is Kelsey,
And this is Rudy.
This is Ryan.
and thanks for listening to Horror Central.
Here's your phone.
Thanks.
We all
You're
are
on
nice.
Oh, people are watching.
There's one, but that's us.
Oh.
Did anyone watch?
Thank you, us. I don't know if there was any. If you flip up, I think it says.
It's like trying to connect right now.
Yeah, it was. I might be able to see it on my. Thanks for watching Periscope.
Peace out.
Periscope, or when I post it on YouTube.